going to remember the video where they do Psalms 83 and 9?
God.
But the Midianites, who are the Midianites? The Midianites are Arabs.
Yeah.
The Midianites are
a different tribe of the Arab.
They are descendants. They are Midian, which is one of Abraham's son. Khan, to what of faith. Khan. That means a study, you know. Right? You understand? That was one of Abraham's son, Midian. Right? After Sarah had died, I forget it's Keturah, is what's the next? Keturah. Right. He make that child with Keturah. Right? So we was always in war with the stinking Arabs and the stinking Africans. Right?
And to add to that, Salakia, Abraham didn't only have Isaac. Abraham had 8 sons.
Yes, 8 sons.
8 children Abraham had.
Afterwards he had
8 children Abraham had. So,
but Isaac was the promise.
The chosen seed.
The promise came to Isaac.
All the rest were what?
All the rest the Lord didn't come them.
What nations? Because just nations.
Because when you go back to Romans 9, where he said not because that they are the seed of Abraham are the children. But then Isaac shall thy seed because.
Go ahead, Psalm 83.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh.
Yeah, no, take battery.
Say that?
Yeah, they take battery.
Pamphlet, no boy. Another good thing you say, I'm about to print a pamphlet for you to read, but say, listen to that scripture before you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 3, Salakia, chapter 83.
Come on the side here.
Yeah. Beginning at verse 1. He said, keep not thou...
And you see that all niggas for. You just want to smoke, drink, smoke, drink, and license.
Right? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace.
Hold on. In case you didn't know, that word Yahweh is the name of Almighty God.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right? He said, and be not still, O Yahweh.
Yeah, go ahead.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Who is the Lord's enemy? Is it Satan?
Satan, yeah.
No.
So,
you see these people coming down here?
Yeah.
All these people coming down here? They are the Lord's enemies. What do you say? For lo, read that part again.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Enemy, yeah?
Enemies.
Spell enemy.
Spell that enemy.
E-N-E-M-I-E-S.
So enemies with an S at the end, which is all these nations here. We'll get into the Bible and show you how real this thing gets in. Read it.
Because Salakia, Satan can never be the enemy of Yahweh because he works for him. He works for him.
No, for Satan.
No, who works for the Lord?
Satan works for the Lord.
him. In fact, Satan is an angel of the Lord. To go and write something about the but give me Job, the book of Job.
Let me do one thing at a time.
Right? He said, for Lord, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Go ahead.
He said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have what?
Taken crafty counsel. Crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken what?
Crafty counsel against thy people.
So now you notice he said enemies, and now he's trying to say they.
Yeah.
So if it was Satan singular, it'll be a he.
Yeah.
Oh, you got prefer now? Oh, you got prefer?
No.
Oh.
He said they. They mean that these people, they means the enemies. Who is the enemy? All these nations. Who you buying? You see the people who you're buying doubles and roti from?
Yeah.
The East Indians? They are not your brothers and sisters. They are your enemies according to the Bible.
Yeah.
The Chinese who are Chinese restaurants and you don't buy Chinese food from, they are not your brothers and sisters. They are your enemy.
Yeah.
So the concept of God so loved the world is a lie from Satan. God don't love the world. God hated the demonic world. God loves you, because you are chosen seed of Abraham.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of the world, God loves this world. There's no scripture say God loves this world. Brother.
Right? Thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Who said that? These people here. All these people conspire one to another and say, come, let us cut us up from being a what?
From being a nation.
That's why our people think we are African.
Can.
That's why they're going on in the Yoruba village because they think they're African.
Can.
Not knowing that they're the actual biological children of Israel.
He said that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
No, the name of Africa.
No, for the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasha Allah. The word Yah means he, the word Shah means prince, the word Allah means power or God. When you put it all together, he is the Prince of God. You understand what I'm saying?
Right?
Hope so.
He said, for they have consulted together with one consent.
Huh?
Them as prophet of God.
You an Israelite, you also are a prophet of God. If you repent and change your life around and stop smoking that shit called ganja.
Yeah.
Right? He said, with one consent, they are confederate against thee.
They are what?
They are confederate against thee.
So all them nations, they confederate against these people right here, this sign here. These people on this sign here?
Yeah, that Egypt, and I saw like Turkey.
Yeah, all these nations came against these people right here.
Yeah.
He
So
said,
I need to stop smoking, is it? And I'll go back better.
You need to stop smoking, you need to repent, turn to the Lord, start to call upon his name is Yahweh, and it's only because his son name is Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
You need to start calling upon his name, not Selassie. Selassie is bullshit. No, I just feel his spirit and I know exactly what he's taking. Yeah? So you need to start calling upon the God of Israel. You know what you need to do?
Oh.
You need to take a number from us and start calling us. If you want classes, you work with your Bible, your pen and your notebook.
Yeah, what
take
classes, yeah.
Right,
Don't
take,
have a pen here. We could, you have to write it down, write down my phone number, come on now, that's no.
you will write down your phone number for me. Oh yeah, Christian, you will have to do that.
Yeah, so I'm continuing the scripture now.
right? He said the tabernacles of Edom,
You can put it number, let's get.
Tabernacles of who?
the tabernacles of Edom,
Which one are you going to cry by the church?
No, we don't have a church. This is the church right here.
Alright, down the road there.
Yeah, the Bible says wisdom cried with
Right,
all
that wisdom, right?
in the street. Yeah, go ahead.
right? The tabernacles of Edom,
I'm giving you my number too.
Yeah, he'll give you his number, you'll take, and you take.
I tell you remember me, eh? Nice, happy new year.
Brother.
the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites,
And the who?
and the Ishmaelites,
And the Israel. The first thing you do when you come into the street here, you gotta start studying.
Yeah.
You can't come out on the street. We ain't taking nobody preaching on the street with me right now.
Alright.
You come to classes and you study for a whole 6 or 7 months. And if we see a worthy of coming out here, that is your only sound. But we're not accepting nobody on the streets. You gotta just come out and do this.
Yeah.
It's just not as simple as it is.
study to
So
show
when I
yourself.
call it, you go cry, man. You put more, the studies.
Of course,
Alright. Just try the places.
in a Rima.
I remember.
So if you really want food, if you have $1 million to collect in a Rima and you live in there, you will go and collect it.
Yeah.
All homosexuals gonna be put to death, thus says the Lord.
Can,
Right.
All homosexuals.
can,
All homosexuals. Death for all homosexuals.
Yeah.
All homosexuals dead.
That's
Fire!
Thus says the Lord.
he said the tabernacles of Edom, the tabernacles of Edom,
Thank you. I glad you pick up that last spirit. Go ahead.
he said the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites,
Uh-huh.
Edom is the so-called white man, the Ishmaelites is the Arabs. He said of Moab and the Hagreens.
Yeah.
Oh, write down
Write
your
your
number
number
on the
there.
next paper.
And your name.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Right? He said
Continue the flow.
of Moab and the Hagreens,
And that's not real. Nobody nations against
the tabernacles of Edom
which is the so-called white man,
and the Ishmaelites,
which is the thinking Arabs.
Oh, you go call
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Of-
call you.
Say it, right?
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
it's like-
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead,
he
continue.
said of Moab
Of Moab, which is those stinking Chinese,
and the Hagreens.
and the Hagreens is another part. If it's not, well, I get to understand the Hagreens is East Indians, you know.
Yes, boy. Yes.
The Hagreens is them East Indians.
I think the Harris was East Indians. But I don't want to say it yet until I verify
Until
it.
it's verified, but
Right.
again, as far as I can understand, the Hagaris is them stinking East Indians and them.
Go ahead.
Gebal and Ammon
But we know Kibal for sure is an African nation.
Ammon is the Japanese.
and Amalek
And who?
and Amalek.
Those so-called rats.
Those rats, they're not so-called, they're not fucking rats.
Well, we can call them so-called. There's actual
There's rats.
There's rats. Go ahead.
And the Philistines.
And the who?
The Philistines
And a bunch of Africans.
But we sure is African.
were the inhabitants of Tyre.
That is African nation. So one of our main enemies of old was always the African. Israel always warring against the Africans. The Jebusites, the Amorites, the Disites, and all them Africans. The Havites.
Because that was linking back with Joel chapter 3, where we was now reading, to prove to you that these Africans also had a part and a hand to do in our slavery.
Done.
Now every nation under the face of the earth has done shit to Israel. You know? Even the Indians, you know? Everybody has done something to Israelites.
Yeah,
The
because
Israelites.
who's the cities?
Can.
Who's the cities? You understand? Who's the cities in India? It's our people.
And
Can.
How they restore? How they reach there? How the cities reach in India?
And funny,
Through slavery, the sub-Saharan slave trade.
and funny thing about it, everybody wants to be African, but nobody knows where they come
Sub-Saharan
from.
or the Medio Persian?
But nobody,
Sub-Saharan.
but nobody knows where they come from Africa.
Can.
Sub-Saharan
If I
slave
take these
trade.
niggas and drop them in Africa, they can't find a way out of it.
You understand? And the thing about it is, they're so stupid. Ethiopia, 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 Ethiopia. But the slave trade wasn't taking place in fucking Ethiopia.
On the west coast of Africa.
You consider yourself I Ethiopian.
But Sister told them he's a Hebrew Israelite.
Can.
His sister told you that? Sister said he's an Israelite. He's a Hebrew Israelite. So what they do, they actually confusing themselves.
So then, and the thing about it, I say, you're burning down Babylon, right? But who was the Babylonians? Ethiopians.
Can.
Burn down Babylon, burn down Babylon, burn down Babylon. That's why we can say Rastafarianism, it played out.
Because
That shit played out.
Because
you
of the
see,
drugs.
you see,
It had no substance in that. The Bible says things of substance will laugh.
Can.
Will last. Anything that
What
has
did
no
he tell
substance.
Gamaliel?
Can.
What did the man say to Gamaliel? He said, if this be of the
No,
Lord,
Gamaliel said to Saul,
Salakia.
when Saul was persecuting the Christians.
God, he said, if this thing be of man, it will fall. But if it be of God, it will stand. Huh?
Can.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. You understand? So,
Bring out that Zephaniah 2 and 12, but explain yourself right before you finish. Zephaniah 2 and 12. That's a beautiful thing.
something in Ezekiel and all of that.
And somebody go hold Hosea 4 and 1 because I want to break down that still. You have to. You ain't finished yet. Until you finish. We have more history upon our people in Africa, why we the Israelites.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Right, I will start from 11.
Right.
He said, the Lord will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth.
So who is them? Them represent the nations. All these nations that the Lord said, I will be terrible unto them. So he said a point on who?
Right? And
Whoa.
Let me ask you a question. What does emancipation mean to you?
Freedom.
But, okay, so today's emancipation day. Are you free?
You mentally free?
How you mentally free?
Let me have a discourse. Now good one. They say I'm mentally free.
There's a brother, you know, so
There's a
we
brother.
talking there's a brother.
brother.
Because since here we all be understand, right? When it's East Indian arrival there, I guess the East Indians talk to each other on the day. So if it's one day, we go take the talk to each other, it's this day, which is emancipation day. So how you mentally free? No, we're not vexing anything. Just answer what you know.
And you can tell us what you know because
Maybe you might teach us something. Who knows?
Like that is when you know you're free. You try to choose. Good.
You always have to if something makes it
Disregard it. Alright. Alright, well, here we're going on, right? You understand where you're coming from because you see, that is how you go look at it with an opinion wise. Right? But what we out here to teach our people, right, is not about the opinion. Right? It's about literal facts. And the literal fact is that you're not free. You're not, well, alright, that's the question. Free from what?
They say Emancipation Day means free from mental slavery, free from slavery. That's what they say. But are we free? That's the question. Are we free?
I just said I pay like phone bill. Our phone, how about light bill? Water bill?
I don't pay those. You have an ID card, driver's permit, birth paper, passport. Well, then you want free.
Not only that too. You talk about bills, right? You get in classes, school stuff, the still school studying or something like that. And they paying bills for that?
Yeah. So they're free.
But it goes deeper than just finance. But give me go back to Baruch. Yeah. I'll show you something here.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, beginning at verse 8.
Just now, huh? Hold it there. Where's the nationality?
God.
Where's the nationality? Before we go to anything, where is the nationality? Because we ask about freedom, right?
We will ask that brother too. Where is the nationality? You are good brother too. Where is the nationality?
Where is the nationality? Trinidadian.
I believe it, that is what they tell you.
Right, yeah, they tell you. We index. No, we ain't going to. I would teach you, right?
What's your nationality, bro? African.
He's African.
He's African.
All right, no problem.
He went a little deeper than you.
Than this brother here. Right? He went a little deeper, right? Good. So, this brother here, hold it there, you brother. What make you say that he is African? That is who you are? How you know that you is African?
I'm not going to ask him, I'm not going to ask him, how long you know he is an African?
About 13.
Since you are about 13 years
13
old?
years.
And how old are you now?
And you know like about you, you've been honest with you.
Yeah, you've been honest. So how old are you now if you don't mind my asking?
39.
You're 39. So that is well over 20 years. You've been knowing that you is an African, right?
I'll just say African because I don't want to go in depth.
Sorry?
I'll just say African because I don't want to go in depth.
You don't want to go
I
in depth?
understand
You
that.
can go in depth. No, you can
No,
go
you
in
can
depth.
go in there because we
Go in depth.
love depth enough, but it's just that if you take me on the base, you ain't going to teach you enough. If you go into the tree, we go love that. Because maybe we can learn something from you.
I am also learning.
I too, we are also about learning. That's what I'm saying. When we converse with the brothers, right? Maybe you could say something I never hear before, so I might write it down and research it. I might say something to you, you go and research it. That's how we exchange knowledge.
So, and then I want to ask him something. You say you're an African, right? What part of Africa are you from?
Well, let me put it this way, right?
Yeah.
You see wherever part that they took us from and bring us here,
Yeah.
That's nice. We
Yeah,
love what
that
you
is the
say.
part.
That's the part you're from.
That's the part
But
you're from.
question again.
Which part
How
you
did
take us
those
from?
people get there?
how did they get?
How did they get there?
Meaning, which people?
The people, we
That
came
they-
from the west coast of Africa, right? You will agree to that, right? Two questions. Who were the people dwelling in the west coast of Africa and how did they get there?
We got there because of all the different things that we went through
And what
while
was-
being in Africa.
While being in
While
Africa?
being in Africa.
Alright.
All right. Let me start to bring out some issue now and give the real order.
Well, you had the book of Babylon to tell back to them?
Yeah.
We're going to show you something.
We'll show you something, brother.
You can
And you will learn as well.
Yeah,
You will learn as well.
you can learn something from us.
We are sure we're going to
Yeah,
fall.
the
We're going to
Trinidad,
fall
they're
in the
gonna
line
learn.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going to fall in the
You
line.
Rashalam, you can stay all in front there and think it. Don't actually have to stand up in front there.
Right? So,
You can come all here by the brothers and thing.
right? Listen this here, right? They say we is Africans, which is no problem that because when you know where you've been taught, right? When it took us from what so forth,
Not
right?
only we have been what I've been taught, but more me seeking knowledge of myself.
More use, all right, no
So
problem.
now what we are about to tell you, brother, is that the rabbit hole was more deeper than Africa.
very deep.
And we will bring our source from the Ashanti, the Aruba, the Limba, Igbo, to show you that these people telling you that our history goes beyond the shores of Africa, across the Red Sea.
Let me prove to you. Babylon to Timbuktu hold that. Yeah. Right? So we going into history. This thing here, yeah, let me bring out that first.
Bring out that first.
Bring out that first.
In order for them to
Understand this here.
We want to jump to this
And then come to that.
No,
Yeah.
this is from the book of from Babylon to
No, I
Timbuktu, right?
And before you begin, explain something.
A matter of fact,
Timbuktu, this you hear, was a university
in Mali.
Where women, our people built this university. They call Timbuktu. So take my word for it, go up,
Search it up.
search it yourself.
Right, this is page 84. He said in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompeo captured Jerusalem in 70 AD.
You can make Luke 21.
They don't go into it already.
22, but we're going to bring it back out again.
Right?
I'm going to show you the history of the Bible and the secular history in all going together.
Right? In 70 AD. He said, Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state
Right? Go ahead.
with great slaughter.
With great what?
With great slaughter.
Now, if you ask those white people in Israel, when did that happen to you? They can't give an account. But our people, those white people in Israel, no, they cannot get right. Good.
Yeah.
Are beautiful. So they can't give an account to that. Go ahead.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and
Outrageous.
outrageous, it have outrageous here,
Right.
and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompeo to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
So now, if the Jews were white people, what is the purpose going free from Roman persecution into Africa? Why, you feel the Romans would make you out as a white man in Africa? Of course it would. In a whole nation going into Africa, you know.
And now this is the cut part about it here now.
So that put an end, hold on,
Yeah.
that just put an end to Christianity. Read.
Right? He said, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery, the slave market were full of black Jewish slaves.
The what market?
The slave markets were full of
No,
black.
the fish market.
No, the slave market were full of black.
No, the fruit
No,
market.
the slave market was full of black Jewish
That's
slaves.
not what it. So you better know. Who they was taken from the west coast of Africa?
What you now say? Slaves, right?
Slaves.
Right. So if now was the black Jewish slaves
What would they do?
that
They
fled into Africa, right?
Right.
And they fled west into Africa. The
Jews.
Jews.
Went down. That's not, I'm not correct it.
Salakia.
Yeah, I'm not calling it.
Yeah.
We didn't really fled direct to West Africa one time.
At the point, correct.
We went into the interiors
Yeah.
within Africa.
Right.
Right? And due to the sub-Saharan slave trade, which was the first slave trade in Africa, go and do your research.
Yeah.
We ain't telling the things off of just telling this. Go and do your research. And having infighting with the real Africans, which is the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, the Libyans and whatnot, so for the real Africans, they started push us until we end up on the west coast of Africa and take over the whole west, go straight down into parts of South Africa, like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa. South Africa was really named the land of Canaan. Well, was the new Canaan, because the true Canaan really and truly was Israel. Right? Which was the land of Canaan, but they get pushed out by the true Israelites, which is us. You ain't no African, brother man. We're going to prove it to you now. With scripture.
And you know, you are showing me.
Yeah.
20, alright, brother Yeshalam 21:20. Luke.
20.
Yeah, look.
20.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 20.
So now history and the Bible will go together. Read.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies,
Because we just read in Babylon to Timbuktu, the author say Jerusalem was compassed with army and with great
70
slaughter in
AD.
70 AD. This is the 70 AD account in the Bible. Read.
then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
The word desolation go back to the word destruction. Know that the destruction is at hand.
That's right.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
And we read it in the Bible to take back to over 1 million Jews fled where?
To the mountains.
Into Africa. So those mountain the Bible was talking about was Africa. So how come when we go along into the Yoruba village, they won't call that for we? Because everybody have an African mindset. Nobody want to tell the truth that we are the actual Hebrew Israelites of the Bible.
That's right.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein too.
Why?
For these be the days of vengeance,
Well,
that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
write it on that. That all things that are written may be fulfilled. Now get into the history.
Right? This here now is some history. I will listen attentively. Right? This lesson is titled The Hebrewism, the Hebrew tribe of Levi. Hebrew tribe of Levi. Levi is one of the 12 tribes of Israel found in West Africa. We have found the kingdom of Judah in the heart of the empire of Ghana.
In the heart of the empire, where?
Of Ghana.
See what the thing ended up? In Africa. We not despising that we come from Africa. We were saying that the Israelites had it was a flee in Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution.
Why we are to flee to Africa is because we look like the Africans. We went into Africa to blend in with the Africans fleeing from the so-called white man. You catch where I'm coming from? Because we are the same, we can prove it to the scriptures. We are the same big nose like the Africans, same big lip, same melanated skin like the Africans, same textured hair like the Africans, but we come from a different bloodline. Thus says the Lord, right? We have found the kingdom of Judah in the heart of the empire of Ghana in the land of Ham.
In the land of what?
In the land of Ham.
So I can ask a question.
Go ahead.
Before that place was named Africa, what was the name of it?
I have a second question. Where the Israelites now come from? The Romans?
No, the Israelites come from Shem. Yeah, remember we had 3 sons? Shem and Japheth. Give you a Bible dictionary. It's on the one Bible dictionary. We have a history here now.
And then we'll come back first.
Get the Ham.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's clear up some
From the Bible dictionary, right? Ham. He said perhaps the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
Well,
He became the progenitor of the dark races,
progenitor means the forefather. Well, I guess you guys know that. The forefather of the dark races.
not the
What is
Negroes.
still trying to say here?
Not the
He
Negroes.
said, how could Ham be the progenitor of the dark races, but when it comes to the Negroes, not the Negroes? What
The Negroes dark.
What these scholars are trying to say? That you Negroes are not Hamitic. You are Shemitic. You come from the very loins of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That means you ain't supposed to be celebrating what they're celebrating in Yoruba village. Oshun and Ubun and Oration and them folly. We just want Rastafarians going beating them. You ain't supposed to be celebrating this. You want to find the roots and culture?
Inside there.
Right
Because
back
Salakia.
How would you know about the Israelites without going to the Bible? It's only common sense.
Yeah,
Well,
because Salakia, that was the name of the place. The land of Ham was the name of that place until Africanos, Scipianos came and conquered that land, a white general,
A white man.
and named it after himself. When you go back to Psalm 49 and 11, their inward thoughts is that their dwelling places will last forever. So they conquered lands and named them after themselves. Right? So continuing with Ham. He said the progenitor of the dark race is not the Negroes, but the
so you
Egyptians,
see, you see how they separate we? Egyptians, Africans,
the Ethiopians,
Africans,
the Libyans,
Africans,
and the Canaanites.
Africans.
Canaanites is who you know today as Mandela's people. Those are the Canaanites.
So continue on.
Right? Right? And found in Ghana in the land of Ham. Yet now, in spite of all efforts to corrupt or attribute
Ultimately, we need to say that this can't be history.
our history
Yeah.
to others, we also find in the empire of Ghana the tribe of Levi.
So this fella, this narrator saying here, he's saying, you know what? In history, we found the tribe of Judah, but as we look closer, we found Levi living on one side. So when he's at a check, he said, but wait a minute. This white man, well, so-called white man, because let's call it, got to be true, because look, we find it among the Africans, and they actually looking like Africans. Read.
Also known as the Ashanti.
Of the what?
Ashanti tribe.
Do you know the word Ashanti is a word in the Bible? You can find it just
You'll
now.
find it just now for you. Also known as the Ashanti tribe, occupying the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast, which is in Ghana. In the following map, we find Levi living side by side with his brother Judah within the empire of Ghana.
With the empire where?
Ghana.
Of Ghana. Well,
We also find Gihon.
Gihon. What is the Gihon River? Well, I know brothers will know. You brothers don't know what is the Gihon River. The Gihon River in the Bible is known as the Nile. So you understand that this whole thing with the Bible and history is actually one. Read.
Right? We also find Gihon in the Bible, the Gihon spring in the valley to the east of the city of David.
To the east of the city of where?
David
The Nile? Yeah! Read.
was where Solomon was taken by the Levites to be anointed king of Israel.
So you know what?
And a scripture for that now.
You know what they actually saying there?
Yeah,
The
sure.
Levites took King Solomon and
First
anointed
Kings
him.
1:33.
Where they
First
anointed
Kings
him?
1:33.
Not by the River Jordan, no. Down by the Nile. How Christians that say telling me these things? Somebody getting paid
Somebody
to brain.
lying, somebody
I can't use the word brainwash. To brain dirty we. Because if you brainwash, you clean.
Right? Now, like that, shall I come with the scripture? First Kings
The book
1:33.
of 1 Kings chapter 1 verse 33.
Well,
The king also said unto them, take with you the servants of your Lord,
in the Bible we talking about here now, eh?
and cause Solomon, my son,
For Solomon my son. Who is the king? David. For Solomon my son.
to ride upon mine own mule,
To ride upon David's own mule. No man can ride upon a mule but the king's son. Read.
and bring him down to Gihon.
Game down to where?
Gihon.
No, Jordan.
Gihon.
Bring it down to?
Gihon.
The Gihon. In other words, what David was telling the priest and them, bring him down to the Nile and anoint him by the Nile. So who said the Negroes didn't fighting in God's word? Oh yeah, we part of the history, yo. Actually, we are the history.
Yeah.
We are the children of Israel.
Yeah.
Read.
And let Zadok the priest,
Let's say that what?
the priest,
No. The tribal Levite was who?
The man name is Zadok. That's that. Ruth's name. When you look up them name is Ruth's name.
Which
Read
was
that.
the priest, the tribal Levite is the
Let me
priest.
finish and then I'm coming back.